the bounce, you get the break, you get the goal. What's the difference tonight? What doesn't happen tonight that you don't win this?
Yeah, I think obviously they defended pretty well. I mean, you're playing against a good team out there, so I think they played hard, defended well, took away the chances, limited our chances. I mean, at the end of the day, we give up two goals. There's empty net there, but I think for us, like, we checked and played pretty well, especially in the second and third. I thought in the first they probably had a little more bounce and jumped than us, but we move on.
Do you, in the course of winning 16 games, do you just sometimes use up your luck?
Yeah, I mean, to an extent. I would say, though, over the course of the 16 games, like, they weren't lucky wins by any means. I think we were playing the right way, and a lot of the ways you create your own luck by doing the right things on the ice. So I think over the 16 games, we good to have that winning streak. Now we move on and go try to get one in Anaheim.
Is it good to, can you now just kind of take a step back and look at that accomplishment and feel pride in that accomplishment now that it's kind of over?
Yeah, I mean, maybe tomorrow. When you lose, you doesn't matter if you've lost one in a row, 3 in a row, 116. It doesn't matter. When you lose, you got feel good leaving the rink. So tomorrow maybe we could reflect on what's gotten us to this point and helped us claw back. And like I said, there's a lot of hockey to be played here, and we got a lot of work to do.
In the big scheme of things, you guys are just trying to get back into the picture, right? You've done that, I guess. You with the start you guys had. You feel that you guys are back where you should be belonging, should be in the standings and things like that.
I mean, we're back in the hunt. I mean, we're not content by any means. I think, we worked hard to get ourselves into this position. But at the end of the night, we lost tonight to a team in our division that we played a lot over the last couple of years, and it's going to leave a bad taste in our mouth.
To expand on Speck's first question, did you feel like you had the better chances tonight? Like, just overall in terms of your game?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like one of those things you got to go back and watch, because I mean, you could have a feel on the ice and then watch, and it looks like something completely different, right? So, but we had a fair share of chances, and I think there's a lot of areas of that game that if we continue to do it, we'll continue to play good hockey over the last stretch.
Darnell, is there something to be said about momentum? If this game might have been played before the break, you guys are rolling. Was there any sort of feeling coming out tonight, being on the road after the break, maybe a little low, a little flat at all?
I think we've done a really good job of handling ourselves after breaks. We had a few breaks so far this year, so I wouldn't pick it up to that. I think for us, we know that we're capable of winning every night, and I'd say we can get that result.
Back to the channel, guys. My name is Gene. You guys are watching Lubed for February the 7th, 2024. This is season 3, episode 38. All good things must come to an end. Now, you guys may be wondering out there, am I upset? Am I pissed off that the Oilers lost? You know what? It would have been nice. But let's think about what they were at in November and put that into perspective of what they just accomplished. November, what they just accomplished. Go back to November and what they accomplished. So hell no. Hell no. I am so proud of those boys that I am taking the advice of my workmates, which I want to give a salute to Dom for saying I need a little bit more of my work personality. And also Shay, who said the same thing. And an extra shout out to Shay, because she said, or she put me on her Instagram page helping promote me. And I noticed I gained a couple new subscribers. So welcome aboard, guys. I hope you enjoy my channel. If you are an Oiler fan, that's great. If not, join me on NHL Aftermath. But getting back to the Oilers and getting back to what I want to discuss about, I want to give them a salute, okay? I don't often put beer on my channel because it's not necessarily a good look. But when you have to give a shout out to a team that played their asses off in the last 2 months, and like they did us proud, okay? They did us proud. Okay, so they lost. But anyway, let me take my sip here. Nice big sip. So they lost to the Stanley Cup champions after a week and a half break from the All-Star game. You could kind of almost see the writing on the wall that this was going to happen. And unfortunately, it did happen. The Edmonton Oilers met the Golden Knights on, Tuesday night. They're a tough team. They're second place in the Pacific Division. They are the previous Stanley Cup champions. They're a good team. So I'm not complaining. I want to give them a salute. I know a few fans in Edmonton are pissed off that they never met the Pittsburgh Penguin or tied the Pittsburgh Penguin record or surpassed it. You know what? I'm not going to deny it. I'm a little bit upset by that. But really, from what they came out of, again, in November to where they are now, I'm not going to complain. I am not going to complain. It would be ridiculous for me to complain. I am so proud of those boys. In all the years that I've watched Edmonton Oilers hockey, this is one of those years that is right up there with how proud I am of them. And I know they're hard on themselves about that loss. Anyway, enough of me babbling about it. Let's get into the game that was the Golden Knights versus the Oilers. All right, so it was a tight affair. Very tight game. I'm going to pull up the scoring summary right now. Realistically, it was a 2-1 game. Okay, there was an empty netter by William Karlsson at 19:27 of the third period and making it 3-1. If the Oilers would have lost in a blowout, I might have been a little bit choked if they just didn't show up and lost 7-1, but they showed up. They played their asses off. They ran into a brick wall named Adin Hill, and the rest was history. The streak was over. So it started off at 4:35 with Connor McDavid getting a shorthanded goal. This is assisted by Leon Draisaitl and Vinny Desharnais. Nicholas Roy would tie the game, his 10th of the year. This would be from everyone's favorite, Alex Pietrangelo. And the reason why I say everyone's favorite is we all remember the big slash he did on Leo last year in the playoffs on his wrists. Second period, there was no scoring. In the third period, very early, this is when the game-winning goal happened for Vegas. Chandler Stevenson getting his 6th from Jonathan Marchessault and Paul Cotter. And then William Karlsson getting the empty net at 19:27 of the third period to ice it, and the streak was over. It's unfortunate. Don't get me wrong. It's unfortunate. But again, for them to do that, I'm going to give them a second salute. It's just utterly amazing that they did what they did in the last month and a half. And let's keep in mind, guys, this team was 32nd overall in the league. I believe it was in November, early November, just before Woodcroft got fired. When they lost to the San Jose Sharks that night, they were 32nd in the league. And that's when the writing was on the wall. So, hey, salute to you boys. Cheers. Connor, Skins, Doc, and Dre, and all the boys, actually, all the boys. You made me proud, man. Hey, I better put that away for the rest of the episode and then maybe enjoy that a little bit later. But yeah, they made me proud. Okay, so we're going to take a look into the game breakdown here. As it started, or it had, the Oilers actually outshot the Vegas Golden Knights 31-26 on goal. So they outplayed them. Giveaways, Golden Knights. This is a first. I haven't seen this in a long time. Usually the Oilers are doing the more giveaways, but Vegas Golden Knights actually gave away the puck more in this game. It's a small amount, 6-4, but yeah, the Oilers were actually strong as far as that department goes. They played a strong game. It's just like I said, Adin Hill was the difference. Face-off win percentage, we were on top of that, 52% or 53% pretty much in favor of the Oilers. Penalty kill, again, solid. They had 2 power play attempts, and the Oilers kiboshed both of them. The power play, the Oilers only had, oh, I didn't have the power play in there. The goals against average, Skinner allowed 2 goals on 23 saves, a .920 save percentage, a little bit below his normal of what he's been doing the last 2 weeks. But if you're going to complain about a .920 save percentage, then you need to really reevaluate your thought process, because that's an amazing stat. Like, I would always go for a goalie that has a .920 save percentage. I would be like, yeah, that's our man. And yeah, and that would be the sum of the game and what they've done. I'm not complaining. A very good run. Again, I'm going to give them another salute. Boy, I'm having too much beer here tonight. Forgive me if I stumble. All right, guys, let's move on. And we're going to talk about the streak here as it ended at 16. We're going to go through each one of the games. Let's do that right now. Okay, so the streak started in New Jersey with a 6-3 win. They went on to Madison Square Garden to face the Rangers for a 4-3 win. I believe this was another road game. Yeah, I think it was a road game in San Jose. 5-0. This time they actually destroyed San Jose, which what they should have done back in November, but they lost to San Jose. Then they go and beat the LA Kings, who I think at this point in time is when LA pretty much started their losing streak that led to our former coach, McClellan, getting fired, and now he's fired out of the Kings organization. They destroy the Ducks 7-2, who they will be playing next, and we're going to go through the preview of that shortly. They returned to, or they came back home to face the Flyers, and they actually showed the Flyers that they were more of a dominant team, splitting that series, getting a 5-2 victory. Then they took on the Senators, who have been struggling a lot, 3-1. Chicago, this was a game that I was worried about this game, because this was a game that, if you remember, Connor Bedard got hurt about 3 games prior to it, and he's still on the injury reserve with a broken jaw. And the Blackhawks really played a tough game against the Oilers. The Oilers barely got out of that game in a 2-1 victory. Then they went on to Detroit, another close one, 3-2 victory. Another close one with Montreal, 2-1. They, I think, were definitely the more dominant team against the Maple Leafs. Even though, despite what the score says, 4-2, I think the Oilers had much more chances in that game. Seattle was the same score, 4-2. Calgary, 3-1. Columbus, 4-1. And then the Blackhawks, 3-0. And then Nashville to close out before the All-Star break, a 4-1 afternoon game. And then they would go on the All-Star break, and we all know they come back from the All-Star break and lose to the Vegas Golden Knights. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. All good things must come to an end, but you know what? I'm proud of those boys. I'm going to remember this year. I am going to remember this year as one of the top Edmonton Oilers years that I can think of. So I'm very proud of. And when I'm talking about the top Edmonton Oilers, you may notice in the background, right there. You see that banner there? That came in over the break. Obviously, I haven't been on since late January. This is my first episode. I managed to pick up that banner for the studio, and I absolutely love it. It's the Stanley Cup banner showing all the years that they won the Stanley Cup in the 80s. Such a remarkable time. And again, I reiterate, this is one of those seasons that I look back to those years, and I think of this year. Like, it's going to be one of those ones that resonate with me for the rest of my life of years. Whether they win a Stanley Cup or not this year, which would be awesome if they do win a Stanley Cup. But, yeah, I am seriously impressed with this team. Now, I've been looking at the rumor mill here a little bit. This one kind of shocked me when I saw this. But could we see the return of one Jordan Eberle to the Edmonton Oilers. Is this a possibility? I'm kind of okay with this idea. He is a good player. He's definitely a proven player. Is he a top player? Maybe not so much. He's already in the twilight of his career. But I would be okay with Jordan Eberle making a return to the Oilers, and to see if he can be maybe a good third liner or something. I don't know. But I saw this rumor. I was like, yeah, I would be okay with it. I don't know how you guys feel with it. I am going to post a vote on my channel on this to find out, are you okay with Jordan Eberle returning? I was going to do this prior to this video and I forgot to do it. But after this video, I will do that on my YouTube page. So come on and vote. I want to find out how you guys feel about Jordan Eberle potentially making a return to the Edmonton Oilers. That would be, I don't know, I think it'd be kind of neat for us to see that happening. Okay, so let's talk about the two games that are up and coming next. So, by the way, guys, I will be on Sunday night and I will do a recap of the Ducks and the Kings game, just because they're going to be back-to-back games, and I do have stuff to do with my mother on the weekend and that, so I will be a little bit busy, so I will have to do an episode on Sunday. We are also probably going to have a episode of NHL Aftermath, and we're going to discuss Team Canada and the latest stuff that came out of that, plus other stuff that includes broken legs and who knows what else we'll talk about. So join me and Sammy on NHL Aftermath. Likely to be Saturday. I still have to talk to Sammy and work things out, but yeah, join me and Sammy for that. Anyway, the Edmonton Oilers are going to take on the Anaheim Mighty Ducks tomorrow night. I'll be tuning in as they're going to commence a brand new streak, let's hope. Taking on basically Corey Perry's team that he did so much with back, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, where he won Stanley Cups, or he won a Stanley Cup anyway, with Getzlaf, and he had Solani on that team, and just an amazing team. So it is kind of a homecoming for Corey Perry. However, he has played on Montreal, Tampa Bay, Dallas, so he's already played as an opponent in Anaheim to the city that really gave him his or gave him what he did, like basically where he was his best at, where he was the pestiest, where he was the a-hole that I hated way back then. And I'm not going to say the word, but you know where I'm coming with that. So yeah, they're going to play Anaheim on February 9th. Some of the stats, they're not having a good year. We're likely to see Calvin Pickard in net because it is a back-to-back situation, and Anaheim is deemed the weaker of the two. So I would imagine Calvin Pickard with a 5-2-0 record, a .234 goals against average, and a .915 save percentage with one shutout is going to take on John Gibson with a 10-19-1 record, a .305 goals against average, and a .901 save percentage. The Anaheim Ducks record going into that game is 18-30-2. The Oilers 29-16-1. The Ducks not faring very well at home with an 8-17-1 record. Meanwhile, the Oilers are above 500 on the road with a 13-10-0 record. I hate to say that, on the one-game losing streak. Some of the notable stats, really, for the Ducks, I'm going to just say basically where they rank in the league on these ones. Goals, they're 29th in the league. Shots on goal, they're 26th in the league. Power play is 21st in the league. Face-offs, they're 23rd in the league. Tied for 27th with their shooting percentage. Meanwhile, the Oilers are tied for 5th, 2nd, 3rd, 7th. Oilers are looking really good The Oilers are looking really, really good. Again, when it comes to the defensive aspect of things, this is how bad of a year Anaheim is having. They're 26th in the league for goals allowed, 28th in the league for shots on goal. Their penalty minutes, 32nd. They're dead last for penalty minutes, averaging 14.2 penalties a game, so they're very undisciplined. And their penalty kill is 22nd in the league at 77.9. So that'll be the first game, which is tomorrow night. And then on Saturday, it'll be a playoff rematch of the LA Kings. And this is going to be a bit of a tougher battle, but LA, well, I don't know how LA is playing now. After they fired McClellan, I don't know if they're actually starting to pick up the pace. Some of their notable stats, they are third in the league with shots on goal. Sixth in the league with goals allowed. Sixth in the league with shots on goal allowed. And they are first in the league with the penalty kill at 87.3. Stuart Skinner probably going to start that game because he is the better of the two goalies, and this is more of a divisional kind of matchup for potential home ice advantage in the playoffs. Right now, the Oilers have the edge on them, but we'll see. Right now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think it's going to be a Vegas Golden Knight Edmonton Oilers first round matchup. That's where I'm leaning towards the way it's lining up. But LA is still in the mix. So we'll see. David Riddick is going to be the tender for the LA Kings with a 5-1-3 record, 209 goals against average, and a .925 save percentage. They are currently fourth in the Pacific with a record of 23-15-10. And this is going to be, I believe, a Hockey Night in Canada matchup. The last time they met was on December the 30th, where the Edmonton Oilers defeated them 3-2. And I think, yeah, that was part of the winning streak. So, yeah, so it should be an interesting evening that we will see. All right, guys, it's time for final thoughts. No one chimed in tonight. So what I want to just say about this is let's be proud of those boys. Let's be really, really proud of what they accomplished. Let's not be hard on them. They're trust me, those guys are hard on themselves. And what they accomplished was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So let's take what happened with a grain of salt. Let's breathe a little bit. Let's enjoy what they've done. And let's hope, we got to get the right thumb. Let's hope, I can't really do it. But that Stanley Cup banner, let's hope that we add another year to it, which is 23-24. All right, that's pretty much what all I have to say for tonight. Anyway, guys, welcome to my new subscribers. I really appreciate it. Be aware I also have that channel with Sammy called NHL Aftermath if you're just a hockey fan in general and just want to tune into hockey news and talk. And we don't just talk about the NHL. We're obviously talking about the World Juniors. That's the big story right now going on. So we basically talk hockey. We have a good discussion point with hockey. I'm always online. Whenever I'm online, I try to get into your comments and all that kind of stuff. So I'll always be here to answer your comments and whatever it may be. Welcome aboard, guys. To those of you who have been my subscribers through thick and thin, right on. Things are going to get better and better and better with this channel as I keep continuing to grow. And again, a shout out to Shay for adding me and putting me on her Instagram to help promote my channel. Amazing. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. You guys have a great night.